everybody, it's Miss Parks. I wanted to start a read aloud, and actually, Planet Parks, you guys started this a while ago, but I figured we probably might have forgotten what it's about, so I thought I'd start over and invite all the 5th grade to listen. So this is, I know it's backwards, I figured that part out. This is Mick Moris Myth Solver. This is number 4. You don't have to read these in order. But it's the Grudge of the Gremlins. This takes place in Michigan. And more specifically, it takes place at the Henry Ford and Greenfield Village. And I know we didn't get to go like we were planning to, but I thought we'd still enjoy seeing some of the sights. They have pictures in this book, and I'll show them to you guys. But let's start reading. So we're going to start all over at the beginning. So there's Mick, his cousin Sissy, and his friend. The cool thing about this book is that there's a pick your own ending. So we'll read part of the book and then we'll vote on what kind of ending. There's a normal ending, a very scary ending, a thrilling time travel ending, a beyond belief movie ending, and questions only ending. What I might do is record all of them so you guys can see, but we'll see. First we have to read it. So chapter 1, there's the Mythmobile. I really like the pictures in this book. Chapter 1. The Mythmobile rolled down the highway. We were hours out of Port Henry, New York, and what seemed like days ago from encountering Champ, the lake monster of Lake Champlain. We had taken the route through Canada to get home and still could not stop talking about what had happened. It was almost as if we'd been sitting in a movie, watching those freaky events unfold before our eyes. It was hard to believe we were actually involved. Nothing could have ever prepared me for the life-threatening situations that happened to us. When we left Port Henry, New York, we were also sad to say goodbye to our new myth-solving friend, Nancy. We had exchanged email addresses and promised we would keep in touch. Now we were crossing the bridge from Canada into Michigan and still had a good distance to drive before we were home. I'd been writing in my journal because I didn't want to forget all the unbelievable experiences. I wanted a record of every one of the actual myths we had encountered, but suddenly I felt homesick. I thought about all my collectibles and wondered if Horace, our cat, was doing all right. I knew my grandmother loved taking care of him and that she would spend time with him so we wouldn't be too lonely. I also missed all my other friends and wondered how that cute girl I had gotten to know at the end of the school year was. I was hoping she'd be in my class next year, even though whenever she was nearby, I froze up and couldn't talk. One time, my mouth got so dry when I tried to make a joke, I actually felt like I was gasping for air. Man, she must have really thought I was a dork. Sometimes I feel like one. It's not easy to fit in when most of the kids at school have parents who have normal jobs, and mine have this documentary television kind of thing going on. I think some kids might think I'm stuck up or something, but I'm not at all. In fact, there are times I wish my parents had normal jobs. I never act like it's a big deal because really, to me, it isn't. So it's times like this, after being on the road for so long, I just wish we led a normal life. I mean, here it is, the end of summer, and most of my fun was in dangerous situations, discovering the reality of myths like aliens, Bigfoot, and a lake monster. Next year, I start middle school, and it won't be like I can tell anyone about it. I always dread it when everyone talks about what they did all summer. I always have to leave the exciting details out. Plus, I miss sculpting. I just feel like being home, I want to have some new clay and sculpt some figures. My dream is that one day, when I grow up, I'll be involved in animatronics. You know, making those figures that come to life, the kind that are on all the rides and amusement parks and stuff. It came to me because I used to really be into robots, and under those figures we see in amusement parks, they really are just animatronic robots. Yep, someday I would design all those cool characters you see at all the parks, and maybe even have my own animatronics company. Maybe from selling my rights to my factual myth solver journals. For now, I guess I can't complain too much, because being a myth solver is different and exciting. Suddenly, I startled out of my deep thoughts. "Look at that!" shouted Uncle Hayden. So what I also love about this book is every chapter is a cliffhanger. So I'll leave it to this one. Comment below if you like this book, if you've read this book, if you've read any other myth solver books. My class, don't give any hints. And I'll talk to you guys soon.